Yes.
Not gonna lie, for what we're about to talk about, I kind of wish that I had my espresso machine already out and prepared at my house because I'm gonna need a quad shot to get through this one.
Yeah, I wish I had more of that coffee liqueur, actually.
Duly
That's the
noted.
only thing that got me through it, honestly.
Duly noted. I will make sure to get some soon.
Oh, it was so good, man. I've got this nice little, my aunt and uncle did good. They gave me this it's a coffee warmer.
Ooh,
Put it on your desk, and then you put your cup of coffee on it, and it'll keep it warm so it won't go cold.
that is awesome.
So I actually made my coffee last night because I knew that I wouldn't probably get out. I'd probably roll out of bed right before we're recording this because of the trend that's been going on. So I made my
Uh,
coffee last night and I put it next to my bed. And then in the morning, I like woke up and I just stuck the coffee cup on the warmer, and it's warming now.
that is incredible.
Yeah, it's like Michael Scott with the George Foreman grill. Like, I like the smell of bacon in the morning. Except I'm not gonna burn my foot on it because it's not on the floor.
Who the hell would cook bacon on a George Foreman?
I don't know, man.
I don't get that.
Michael Scott apparently.
Michael Scott, we have many questions for you.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Let's
into
do
it we go. All right.
dive head first.
Okay then. Oh, what is going on, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between, you wonderful geeks out there? It is the first new episode of 2021. Welcome back to the General Geekery Podcast.
Woo!
The podcast where we love to geek out about all that we love to geek out about with no remorse, no regrets, and with all of the enthusiasm in the world.
Indeed.
I harnessed my inner Thomas on that one just because I was following his chronicles all day yesterday because him and his wife did Hobbit Day.
Aww.
I swear they make their meals look so good. Shout out to Thomas and Maggie. Love you guys.
Hey.
As always, this is Donald Kaczynski, your resident coffee ninja by day, actor, gamer, and streamer by night. And with me, as always, the dice slinger extraordinaire, artiste magnificent, Miss Hannah Kubiak.
Hi.
So for today's episode, we are actually so a little bit of input on this. We've been wanting to talk about this for a while. We've brought this special up numerous times in the past, and we even mentioned at the end of last episode that we would be watching it and all that stuff. We actually have our entire reaction to the full special up on our Patreon right now for all of our tiers to go see us lose our minds through this.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing. I skipped through I watched like a couple of segments. And it definitely, our commentary definitely makes it more bearable, I must say.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those that are not aware, today we are offering our aftermath thoughts of the Star Wars Holiday Special from 1979. Or was it 78? I don't remember.
78. I've
19...
got the Wikipedia up here.
Thank you. The Star Wars Holiday Special from 1978. One of the most infamous things ever in Star Wars. Even more infamous than I think Jar Jar Binks in the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
this holiday special only aired once in 1979, and
Yeah.
it has not been made available for like home video releases or anything like that. George Lucas himself is so embarrassed and like disgusted with it. He has made it his mission to try to get rid of as many of all traces of it. Harrison Ford does not, the man who is Han Solo, does not remember even being in this special.
Really? Is that because he wiped it out of his memory, or?
I'm pretty sure he did. I would not put it past Harrison Ford.
How? I want to know.
I don't know.
Okay, I have the Wikipedia up if we want some information about it. It's a 1978 television special set in the universe of the Star Wars franchise. It was directed by some guy called Steve Binder. The first Star Wars spin-off film set between the events of the original film and The Empire Strikes Back in 1980. It stars the main cast of the original Star Wars, and it introduces the character of Boba Fett, who appeared in later films. Does it really? Where was he?
He was in the animated version. No, he was in that animated sequence.
Right. Okay. See, I forgot that was part of it.
The original Mandalorian-esque warrior to appear in the Star Wars canon.
Boba Fett. So yeah, in storyline that ties the special together, Chewbacca and Han Solo are attempting to visit the Wookiee home planet of Kashyyyk to celebrate Life Day. They are pursued by agents of the Galactic Empire who are searching for members of the Rebel Alliance on the planet. The special introduces 3 members of Chewbacca's family: his father, Itchy, his wife, Mala, and his son, Lumpy.
Yeah.
Program also features the rest of the main Star Wars characters, including Luke Skywalker, C-3PO, R2-D2, Darth Vader very briefly, and Princess Leia. R2-D2 is simply billed as himself. The program includes footage from the 1977 film and a cartoon produced by Toronto-based Nelvana featuring the bounty hunter Boba Fett. Scenes take place in space and in spacecraft, including the Millennium Falcon and a Star Destroyer, and in other locales such as the Mos Eisley Cantina. Oh, I forgot about the whole cantina thing.
Oh my god.
Oh goodness, I successfully wiped that from my brain for about a week.
B. Arthur singing, ladies and gentlemen. Also, B. Arthur getting hit on by one of the patrons of the bar. I'm just like, why does this exist?
The guy who apparently drinks liquor through a hole in his head. Weird.
I will say that is actually kind of a cool visual.
I mean, yeah, you can continue to talk to people while you get drunk. But yeah, and she like returns the flirtation by pouring stuff into his head. Very weird. The special is notorious for its extremely negative reception and has never been broadcasted nor officially released on home video. It has become something of a cultural legend due to the underground quality of its existence. It has been viewed and distributed in off-air recordings made from its original telecast by fans as bootleg copies, and has also been uploaded to content-sharing websites.
Including YouTube, which is where we found it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the main reason of the Spurs, like why we watched it, is weirdly enough because of the 2020 presidential election. Because Mark Hamill, like after one of the debates, sent out a tweet that said, "That was the worst thing I have ever seen on television, and I was in the Star Wars holiday special." All of a sudden, like so many people flocked to go see the Star Wars holiday special just to try to compare.
Yeah.
I actually remember this, and I'm just like, oh my god. People are actually watching this? And it was kind of that made me decide, and I talked with Hannah. I talked to you about this, and I'm like, we have to do this now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're gonna have to. We talked about it so much on the podcast. I'm like, if we talk all about this, and we don't deliver, what does that make us? So we got to watching the special.
Man.
Already it starts off horribly because it was basically replacing the Incredible Hulk TV show with Lou Ferrigno, and I'm like, oh boy, well, people who didn't know how to understand TV guides back then must be like, why is Incredible Hulk not coming on TV? Why is Star Wars looking so cheaply made? Because you can tell the difference in quality between a TV special from 1970s, between that and a movie from the 1970s. There is a distinct difference. My God.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It starts off kind of okay because it's like, you know what? Maybe the performances of everybody can actually work. And then we get to Chewie's family on Kashyyyk. And oh my God. Damn it. It's like 70 to 80% of the special is mostly just the Wookiees. And I'm like, oh no. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this was before a time when Star Wars became so institutionally beloved that basically entire side stories and like other illustrations and stuff were created for this universe.
Yeah.
This was a time before all that. I think this happened like a year after the original movie's release.
Yeah, 1978 it was made.
Yeah. So it's just like, oh my God. Why? Why is this a thing? Why?
Oh, let's talk about some other things that appear in here. I'm just kind of reading just reading some stuff here about it.
Basically, a good majority of the special, the Wookiees, mostly in particular, Chewie's son, Lumpy. Oh my, why?
Lumpy.
It's okay, Donald. It's okay. Just keep your composure. You're doing a show. They introduce a bunch of like weird outer space technology. It starts off with a holographic showing of a space circus.
Space circus. Oh yeah, the what do we call it? The dance of the cheese puffs or something.
The dance of the cheese puffy fairies.
Oh man. Okay, the music. There's a couple of like original music that was put in. There were a couple of songs sung by people in the middle of it. It was kind of like a musical.
Yeah.
So there was this song called "This Minute Now," sung by Diane Carroll.
Oh no.
She was the virtual reality person who looked like she had shredded paper on her head.
Okay, hold on. I'll let you finish this and then I'll go into detail on that.
She's supposed to be an image created by a virtual reality machine, and she tells Chewbacca's father, Itchy, that she is his fantasy and suggestively invites him to experience her. Fortunately, we don't go too far into that, but she did sing a song that seemed to take forever.
It went far enough. Why? Did this not go through screen testing?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I think maybe they were in a hurry. I honestly don't understand where this thing came from.
Who came up with that scene?
I have no idea.
I had heard of that scene before, and then when I originally saw it, because I had seen this special before we did the viewing for General Geekery. And I'm just like, what? And then you can actually tell when we were going through the recording on General Geekery, Hannah remembers, like, as soon as that part was coming up, I'm like, oh no. Oh no, I forgot about this part. And I wish I had a webcam on me, because my hands were like my face was in my hands. I'm just like, why? Why?
Oh man, I don't know. I watch Mystery Science Theater quite a bit, so just because I think it's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So
So,
I sort of saw this as an opportunity. I
speaking,
mean, my sister and I do this anyway when we're watching stuff. We'll make like dumb comments about it and everything. So it came very naturally to me.
God, speaking of Mystery Science Theater 3000, I had to wash the taste out of my mouth of that holiday special. So I watched the 2009 Christmas riff tracks from them.
Nice.
I had to. I'm like, I need to wash this out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Riff tracks, good. Family friendly fun. Riff tracks.
Oh man, yeah. Okay, there's let's talk about the something that I just found out is that this guy named Harvey Korman did 3 different skits where he played a couple of different comedy people. He played the love-struck barfly who drinks through the hole in the top of his head.
Right.
And he also did a solo routine as the chef, the
Oh my
four-armed parody
god!
of Julia Child.
Four-armed Martha Stewart.
Yeah, I was reminded of Julia Child as well, like the with her sort of her enthusiasm and everything. And then this guy, Harvey Korman, also played the malfunctioning Amorphian android,
Oh my.
who was in the instruction video watched by Lumpy, which was my favorite part of the entire thing, was watching this droid.
We were just like, huh? We were just basically like that the entire time. We're like, what is happening? Excuse me.
Oh man.
Because it kept happening every now and again. And at first it became an endurance test.
Yeah, actually though, I started to get kind of worn out.
We're just like, okay, just you can try to introduce more stuff to this. You don't have to keep doing this every single now and again. It's like, oh, he's shutting down again. Okay, will his light finally die this time? Will he go to the droid factory in the sky?
Will he go to the droid factory in the sky? The island of misfit androids.
Oh my god. It basically has every single type of droid from the Clone Wars era mixed with like a whole bunch of like random stuff, and they're basically tortured by giant versions of like mouse droids.
Oh goodness. All right. I'm going to continue on with my scroll through the Wikipedia to remind us of things to talk about in this. But the Star Wars Holiday Special was universally panned by critics, audiences, and Star Wars fans alike. Let's see. Nathan Rabin of the AV Club wrote, "I'm not convinced the special wasn't ultimately written and directed by a sentient bag of cocaine." David Hofstede, author of What Were They Thinking? The 100 Dumbest Events in Television History, ranked the holiday special as #1, calling it the worst 2 hours of television ever.
Oh my god. Wait, hold on. The worst 2 hours of television ever? I can probably argue maybe 2 or 3 points against that.
Oh,
But,
goodness. All right, go ahead.
one of the debates from the 2016 election, one of the debates from the 2020 election, and the Cartoon Network Christmas special Rhapsody Street Kids Believe in Santa.
Oh, man. I don't know what year the guy said this. So those things might not have existed yet, but yeah. Let's see. There was a news anchor for the 70s for the Fox News Channel referring to it as a 70s train wreck, combining the worst of Star Wars with the utter worst of variety television.
Pretty much. The question is, was it worse than the Brady Bunch Variety Hour?
Oh, I've never seen the Brady Bunch Variety Hour.
I haven't heard good things
to say.
I have not heard good things. I'll say that much.
The special was ranked at number 3 in the 5 goofiest moments of the Star Wars mythos, which I would like to know what
Oh,
number 1 and 2
only
were.
number 3?
Yeah.
What? Hold on.
Um,
Hold up.
TV Guide ranked it at number 11 on their 25 most hilarious holiday TV moments, mentioning that it was unintentionally hilarious.
It's almost like the room of holiday specials.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see. Top 5 goofiest Star Wars. You said top goofiest Star Wars moments, right?
Yeah, the 5 goofiest moments of the Star Wars mythos. In the UK's Star Wars magazine.
All right. I'm actually trying to look it up.
Okay. I'll read a little bit about what the cast and crew thought of it.
Go ahead.
George Lucas did not have a significant involvement with the film's production and was reportedly unhappy with the results. In 1987, he said, "I believe it will be released on videotape. I'm not sure if they're going to rerun it on television or not." In May 2005, Lucas was asked if the film had soured him on working in television. He replied, "The special from 1978 really didn't have much to do with us, you know. I can't remember what network it was on, but it was a thing that they did. We kind of let them do it. It was done by, I can't even remember who the group was, but they were variety TV guys. We let them use the characters and stuff, and that probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, but you learn from those experiences."
And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is from a director who would go on to direct Howard the Duck.
Mm.
For those that know about the existence of the Howard the Duck movie, let that sink in.
I have never seen it.
Good.
Here's
Just don't.
Here's what the cast thought about it. Harrison Ford claimed to have never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Daniels noted with a laugh that the Star Wars universe includes the horrible holiday special that nobody talks about. Carrie Fisher.
Oh my God. Carrie Fisher's thing with this movie.
On the 2010 television program Times Talk, New York Times columnist David Carr asked Carrie Fisher about the special. She said that she made Lucas give her a copy of the special in exchange for recording commentary for the Star Wars trilogy so that she would have something for parties when she wanted everyone to leave.
Yes! I remember that story. I'm like, oh my God, please mention it.
Yeah.
Carrie Fisher, you queen space mom, we love you.
In 2018, Mark Hamill admitted to not having seen the entire special. In 2020, he jokingly asked U.S. President Donald Trump to pardon it. In reaction to the 2020 presidential debate on September 29th, Hamill said that it was the worst thing he had ever seen, comparing it to the special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a cult classic among Star Wars fans, but it's usually it's sold as a bootleg video at conventions or via outlets such as eBay, peer-to-peer file sharing networks, stuff like that. The comedy troupe Riff Tracks, which is composed of Mystery Science Theater 3000 alumni, have released a satirical running commentary on the special.
Oh my God, what?
I want to see theirs.
Oh! We need to track this down. I didn't even know this existed.
We got to do that. We got to see what they said that we missed when we watched it.
Oh, coming from people like that, like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Oh gosh.
And funnily enough, like, the legacy of this special has, like, produced, like, here's the thing. Even at, like, it was considered canon in the Star Wars universe even up until Disney acquired Lucasfilm. People thought that since Disney was taking out so many other, like, spin-off stuff in the Star Wars universe to create their own canon, they would get rid of the holiday special. The holiday special is still canon.
Mm-hmm.
They reference Life Day in the very first episode of The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, remember that? Episodes in like over a year ago when I mentioned that to you, and you're like,
Yeah,
wait, really?
yeah.
That's how this entire thing started, people. It took a year, but this loop came full circle.
Mm-hmm.
I just what goes into people's minds when they create a holiday special about anything?
I don't know, man.
What is the thinking process? What starts off the process of doing stuff? Is it just you just get around, have a bottle of whiskey in between like 6 writers and 2 producers? Do you sprinkle cocaine on sugar cookies or something?
Probably.
Hollywood, how do you do this? Explain this to me.
So weird. Oh gosh. So yeah, that's the legacy of the Star Wars Christmas special.
There's actually a lot more legacy to it than that, actually.
Really? Is there more?
This special has been referenced in TV shows and even in the established canon itself. For those of you in our audience that have seen the animated series, The Clone Wars, shout out to my Clone Wars lovers. The Mandalorian armor in that show was actually inspired by the Boba Fett design from the animated segment in the holiday special, I found out.
Oh, cool.
I just read that. I'm just like, and I'm thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, huh. You know, I can actually see the kind of a difference, because compared to like some of the other Mandalorian helmets that you see in other versions of like Star Wars, the Boba Fett helmet from the animated one seems a little bit longer and sleeker.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. There's a let's see, related productions. There was, oh gosh, in December 2018, a comedy play was released about the special's production entitled Special. Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I laughed about it. I'm like, oh
No,
my.
I was wondering what happened to you. There's also the something called IO9 announced that Jeremy Coon and Steve Kozak were directing a documentary about the making of the special titled A Disturbance in the Force.
Don't you just... Okay, I think one of the things that are better than, like, hilariously bad films or TV specials or anything like that are, like, the documentaries and discoveries and everything like that that goes into the making of it. Like, for those that know The Room and have seen the dramatized documentary film The Disaster Artist with James Franco afterwards.
Oh, that's right.
It's that similar kind of style. And I'm just like...
Have you seen, what's it called, the movie with Johnny Depp about the making of Plan 9 from Outer Space?
Oh my god. I have not seen that, but I have only seen bits and pieces of Plant 9 from Outer Space. Oh my god, I want to watch that.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good one.
We need a marathon of bad movies so bad that it's good.
Oh man.
We need to do this.
Yeah, the movie was called Ed Wood.
Okay, I need.
And it's got Johnny Depp in it as Ed Wood, and it's kind of about his filmmaking process and how he continued to create movies that people thought were horrible, even though basically nobody wanted him to make movies anymore.
I think the holy trinity of movies that are so bad that are good, in my opinion: Plant 9 from Outer Space, The Room, and Trolls 2. Trolls 2. That might be like the holy trinity.
Oh man. Or the unholy trinity.
Depending on who you ask.
Depending on who you ask.
Wait, do you not know what Trolls 2 is?
I haven't seen it. No.
Question. Have you ever seen a clip from a movie where basically a guy's going like, they're eating her, and then they're going to eat me. Oh my god!
Nope.
Oh my goodness, Hannah, we need to do some research for you.
I have to say that was the first time I'd experienced that, was you saying it just now.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want Hannah and me to experience more bad movies, please pledge to our Patreon. I'll make sure that this happens. We'll do an entire marathon of it.
Okay. One by one, my brain cells are dying.
I mean, have they not died already throughout 2020?
I mean, I definitely have become stupider.
I think we all have, honestly.
Yep. I feel uncultured. Much more uncultured than I used to be.
All right.
Oh.
Let's see what else. Okay. Oh my god, there's so much. The crazy thing is, like, aside from, like, the stupidity of this special, like, the certain elements, like, in this, like, the planet Kashyyyk, Boba Fett, which would go on to, both would be bigger things in the Star Wars, like, canon. I mean, Boba Fett was, like, a huge fixture for the bounty hunters, and is still, like, one of the most popular characters in, like, the spin-offs.
Yep.
And, of course, the planet Kashyyyk would be featured in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
As like a major thing, and would go on to be in a lot of like other canon projects for Star Wars, including one of my favorite video games. Shout out to Knights of the Old Republic. Love that game to death.
Awesome.
And all that started from this goofy special.
Oh gosh, yeah.
My knickers will not untwist from this.
Yep. Oh. What a strange time. What a strange world we live in.
A strange world we live in that we are just so... Why do we subject ourselves to things that are so bad that they're good? Is it just because we need to find laughter from something truly terrible?
I think that it makes us feel a little bit better about ourselves, I think. To say, well, at least I wasn't involved in that.
Fair enough.
I've made some terrible garbage in my lifetime, but there's this thing.
It might just be the most avant-garde of, like, absurdist comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Just, like, the decision-making is just so mind-numbingly what the actual heck that you just cannot help but laugh at it.
Yep. I definitely had moments like that.
I think we all have. But then seeing it translated onto television or film, and you're just watching it happen, it's like a train. It's like watching a train wreck happen with no death actually being involved.
Yep.
It's like you're on a ship that is going to sink, but everybody's going to survive because you've got enough lifeboat boats. And the only reason you're going to go on the boat is that if it does sink, you want to watch it.
Yep.
That's basically what this is. I have no other way to describe this experience.
Oh.
But all that aside, I think we really do need to ask ourselves this. Hannah, do we recommend everyone should watch this holiday special?
Only... Yes, everyone should. You gotta drink a lot and you gotta watch it with other people.
This is not one of those things that you can watch alone. You need to have
Do
at
not
least,
watch this special alone.
you need to have at least one or two other people with you in order to help make this.
Yep.
It's literally one of those specials that's like, in order to make it like enjoyable for yourselves and everything like that, you need to make commentary with others in order to make this bearable.
Yep. You definitely should not watch this movie unsupervised.
Indeed. And for the love of God, do not get too drunk or too high when that freaking dream sequence fantasy Wookiee session happens. What even was that?
It was only 20 minutes in, so I doubt anybody would be that drunk at that point.
True. It's not like it's the Stephen King drinking game, so, you know. But I'm still just trying to figure out, I'm just like, what is this? I'm not gonna let this go. Like, that fantasy section is, like, etched into my mind right now. I'm just like, how did the singer sign off on this? How did she say yes?
Yeah, who was her agent?
Who was her agent? Who decided?
Want to know.
Who decided for her? Yes, I am going to be the fantasy for a very, very old 70-something-year-old hairy Wookiee man.
The fantasy of a geriatric Wookiee.
Exactly. You want to experience ASMR, but on the screen? Oh yes, that's how we're gonna do this for this special.
You just want to reach out and touch her hair, hear it crinkle.
I want to reach out, grab her by the frickin' shoulder, point my finger in her face, and just go, no.
Turn your life around, Missy.
No. Stop it. Get help. You have a problem. You are not thinking in the right state of mind. Just please turn back around, get back in your car, your spaceship, however you got here, go to your agent, sit him down, slap him in the face a few times, and say, what were you thinking? How could you allow this?
How could you allow this? You were supposed to take care of me.
You were my chosen one. It was said you would help bring me to greatness, not down to ruin.
You were supposed to resist the dark side, not join them.
Bring balance to the force, not leave it in darkness. But to me, I think the true miracle out of all of this, Star Wars could have easily died at that point. Because this was 2 years before Empire Strikes Back came out.
Oh, wow.
But even with this huge bump in the road, look at where Star Wars still is today.
Yeah. There's so much material and so much, such a fan base.
Different generations, experiencing it, it had a new run of movies, which to mixed reviews for, a lot of people. But even still, with Disney Plus expanding their library of, new Star Wars shows. I mean, as we're recording right now, Season 2 of Mandalorian just wrapped up, and we're being teased with so much more Star Wars content, with more stuff, like a spin-off show for, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Boba Fett, some other side stories, that takes place in, the Clone Wars and, post of the Galactic Civil War. I would die for either a live-action or an animated adaptation of the time of the Old Republic. I have been asking for this for years. Literal years. Ever since I was 6.
Aww.
Ever since I was a child and I first played Knights of the Old Republic on the original Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
I've wanted it. So
I look forward to it happening someday.
Indeed. And possibly this past year, there actually was another holiday special for Star Wars.
Oh yeah, the Lego one.
I saw it on TV the day we were about to record our reaction to it. I'm just like, how could you let this happen? But then again, I thought about it, and I'm just like, you know what? if it's set in the Lego universe and it's more directed at kids and everything like that, maybe it'll work. Maybe it will work. I haven't seen reviews or anything on it, so I don't know if it did work.
Yep, well, we shall see. I'm kind of curious now.
But there's nowhere else to go but up after the original holiday special.
Yep, I agree with that 100%.
There's nowhere else to go but up. I have nothing else to say about this.
No, neither do I.
I think we pretty much got everything out of our system.
Yeah.
So, guys,
Happy Life Day, everybody.
Happy Life Day. No, I'm not doing it. No. That would be a disrespect to Space Mom Carrie Fisher. I refuse.
Let's put on our robes and march into a supernova. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. How do you march into space into a supernova? How?
I think it was more of a, artistic representation of their religious observances, but
there was no transition. There was no transition or rhyme or reason to explain how that happened. Maybe I just blacked out at that part because I'm just my brain can't comprehend this anymore. I'm done. But I'm like, what is this? How did we get here? I'm being too harsh on this special. I realize that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just gonna go in the corner.
You have a right to be disappointed.
Do I?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
I appreciate it. But even still, all of that, at the end, C-3PO trying to do a nice monologue of how they wish they were alive in order to experience it. C-3PO, shut up. I don't care. C-3PO, you are useless. Shut up.
It's all your fault.
But why is it my fault, C-3PO? I will smack you.
Shall we sign off?
Yes, let's sign off. For those of you that want to experience this special, it exists online in some way, shape, or form. It has, despite the efforts apparently of George Lucas trying to destroy every copy of it in existence, the special survives. We watched it on YouTube the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably still up there, and there are other ways that you guys can probably find it. So if you can see it, it is an experience unlike any other that we can even describe. So,
yep, it's quite the experience.
Watch it at your own risk. Also, make sure to have something to drink on hand, maybe just soda, a little coffee liqueur inside of a Dr. Pepper, like Hannah did.
Yep, it saved me.
That is actually a really good combination. I actually tried that after that, and I'm like, that's actually delicious.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Not bad. So, I think we can sign off on that. Thank you guys so much for listening to us rambling / raving about all this. If you guys like what you've been listening to, by all means, please make sure to follow us on social media at General Geekery on Instagram and at Gen Geek Podcast on Facebook and Twitter. You can also find the podcast on all platforms where podcasts are available. We're on Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, and if you don't have access to any of those streaming services, you can check us out on my personal YouTube channel at Anime Rev Productions. That is youtube.com/Anime Rev Productions. Or Anime Rev Abridged. I don't know if the address changed on that, but hey, whichever. Hannah, where can I check you out at?
Well, you can find me rolling dice with my party every Monday at 7:30 Central on twitch.tv/Loaded Dice Adventures. I play Petra, the Dragonborn Ranger Rogue. It is a great time. You can also find my brain. You can also find me on the other podcast that I record with my mom. It's called SPLANCHNIC, and we talk about movies, literature and tabletop gaming from the perspective of two different generations. And if you feel so inclined to follow me on Instagram, I can be found at Pythian Legume.
Excellent. And you guys can check me out on twitch.tv as well at RyuzakiMK7. I play a wide variety of games, most of them RPG-based, but I always have a lot of fun hanging out with my chat room, and I'm actually planning some new stuff for 2021, some more variety and things like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You guys can also check me out on social media at RyuzakiMK7 on Twitter and Instagram. And also, guys, if you want to support the show and help us grow and expand, please consider pledging to our Patreon at patreon.com/General Geekery. We have multiple different tiers. You can get access to all kinds of exclusive content, including episodes a few days before they go live on all streaming platforms. Included the recording of us reacting to the Star Wars Holiday Special, which is, whoo, man, that was something.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, other exclusive stuff like Hannah's journal entries, where you get to see the inner workings of the mind of Hannah Kubiak as she prepares full episodes.
It is a horror to behold, but yes.
But yeah, we have multiple different tiers, and the higher tiers you pledge, you can even have the chance to win some artwork from our artiste extraordinaire, Hannah Kubiak.
Yes. I should post some artwork on the Instagram just to give them a preview of what they might be receiving.
Indeed.
Yes.
And that is pretty much going to be it, guys. Thank you so much for supporting us the past year in 2020. I know it was a rough year, but you guys have been awesome listening to us throughout all of it. 2021, we're going to have some really good ideas coming forth, and we hope you will join us for the ride every step of the way for it. But, alas, for now, we must bid you adieu until our next meeting. Thank you guys so much again for listening to this episode of the General Geekery Podcast. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is episode 61?
Yeah, it is.
It is episode 61? Hey, all right. Thank you for listening. This has been episode 61 of the General Geekery Podcast, all about the Star Wars Holiday Special. For Hannah Kubiak, I'm Donald Kaczynski, and until next time, guys, happy Life Day. Well, happy
Life Day.
Happy belated Life Day at this point, I should say. But as you celebrate in whatever shape or form, as you prepare for this new year, always remember to keep your geek on.
Always.
Clink, clink.
Clink, clink.
All right. Bye, everybody.